Alright everyone, here is my 12-inch Costway desk pedestal fan. Now I'm calling this a desk pedestal fan because while it has a pole that you could easily just put on your floor, you could also put this on your desk as well as a very tall standing table fan. It's a really nice fan. I thoroughly enjoy this one. It's from a brand that I've never really heard of before either. I think they make fans, heaters, and humidifiers, but I could be wrong. I know that this brand is relatively new too. I think they came out in like 2017. And it's a really nice fan. This is another brushless DC motor fan. And I actually did take the fan apart. The motor on this one is very tiny. Initially, I thought it was a brush DC motor, however, it's definitely a brushless unit. And for being such a small motor, it's powerful enough to spin these blades with no trouble whatsoever. And it makes no noise at all. It's a really nice unit. And the 6 speeds that this motor has, they're very different in between the speeds. I know it'll be hard to tell between 1 and 2, but there's a huge difference, and I think that that's awesome. It's really just a solidly built fan. I can't knock it for that. And it was relatively cheap too. I thought this would be a $100 fan, but I think this one cost about like 30 bucks really. So here's the controls. They're all in the back instead of being at the bottom like I initially thought. You got power, speed, oscillation, I'll get to that in a little bit, and timer. You can also, whoops, I always hit that. You can also move it up and down. So this one has 2 different oscillating modes. The first mode is a wide angle oscillation to cool the entire room. The second one is more focused. Specifically, if you want to target an area in the room, it'll do that. So without further ado, let me go ahead and switch this one on. I'll start it off on speed 1. While low speed really isn't useful in this weather, this is definitely a nice speed when you have those nice fall nights where you don't need a whole bunch of air, but just enough to keep the air moving. And you can barely even hear it. I assume this is more of a silent mode than anything. Here's speed 2. Which is still very quiet, however, it's pushing a lot more air. Here's speed 3. So the different white and green LED light combinations indicate what speed it's at. Even at speed 3 it's very quiet, but it's pushing a decent amount of air too. Here's speed 4. Alright, here's speed 5. I keep messing up the buttons, but... Speed 5. Starts to get a little noisy here, but it's pushing out a lot of air. And here's speed 6. Which is pretty powerful. Alright, let me show you that oscillation feature I was talking about earlier. So here's the first mode. This is wide. When you first start it up on oscillation, it's adjusting to figure out where it needs to go, which is pretty cool. And also the remote too, which does all the features that are on the fan itself. But it's got a pretty wide angle too, which is always nice. I'll show the timer too with the remote. There's nothing special on it. That's all it does. Just your regular old timer that shuts off the fan after a certain amount of time. Alright, so that's wide, and here's the more focused oscillation, which you'll see. Just does a little bit. One really cool thing about this fan is if you turn it off while it's oscillating, it goes back to the center and shuts off. And there you have it. There is my 12-inch DC motor Costway desk pedestal fan. Thank you for watching.